Pisces, welcome back for the month of September to have a look at what is going on with your zodiac sign. Now, some of the energy of last month is traveling through to kind of take out what we don't need. It's a bit like a sweeping effect. So that can be emotionally speaking. It can be from 8 years ago, where you were and what you were doing at that time and ending karmic cycles. And some of the application of that will still be present this month with the shadow period as well as some retrograde planets still. Now, the crowning energy that you're coming into the month with is a tower. Now, that can be something that's already transpired or something you're meditating on. It may be something you're physically choosing to end. Definitely, since we are having clarity moments and there's stern energies, it can be a way in which you're doing something and a way in which you're thinking something is going to end. Now, it is very much out with the old, in with the new. But in order to do that, some old ways of doing things, old ways of seeing and feeling and thinking, those energies have to go. And that's because we're creating a fresh foundation for what we're moving forward to. Now, also, you're actually looking at your self-discipline, your empowerment, your responsibilities, and your fulfillment. Now, in this area, this can be where you're physically feeling in your solar plexus that you need to generate the energy back into. It can be for some of you, you're doing something that you're not spiritually fulfilled within or have passion directly connected to, and you're looking at it very realistically in anything that's not feeling balanced and you're wanting to change that situation. Now, in the area of your passions, your pursuits, and things you're moving towards, past tense or current, you know, things that you really had invested in. It could be a family related dynamic. Some dynamics in the way you were interlinking with them, it's not so much that's ending, it's more the fact that the way you're relating to it is from a different perspective. Yes, definitely, you know, the aspect of responsibility is there, how you take it, where it's yours, where it's others, but you also need to nurture yourself for the aspect of this to flourish. For some, this can be an aspect of inheritance. It can be a dynamic that has just been passed down through the generations. So the way in which you guys are relating to that can be that way. It can also be the communication, obviously, you know, where things are different. But it's what you feel your place should be in a family and trying to bring that into a balance of a sense of responsibility and enlightenment. Now, if it's not balanced, you feel in some shape or form the dynamic needs to end. But there is kind of an energy where what you're moving towards can be fertility. So it can be that you're wanting to create a foundation. So you're ending an old chapter, starting a new one. It may be a sudden pregnancy for some of you, but it might also be a seed of an idea and something you're wanting to move towards. It is a very creative energy. So regardless of what you're wanting to do, there is an energy of creativity. So even with the ending of your mindset, it can be you're seeing where, you know, from things that were taken from you, it's actually giving tenfold forward back. Now, financially speaking, you know, you have the ability to be very driven in the career field. Now, I do feel some of these cards that are coming through this month for certain zodiac signs, you know, some of them are talking about the aspect of greed. However, I do feel because there was a lag and a delay, if you guys were really trying to push energy uphill, you'll find that this month it's actually going to give you that forward motion. So it will look like you're money hungry. But it's because you finally have the zest and the energy to be able to maybe mentally start manifesting something in and start creating a way to move your energy through the hurdles in order to manifest this cash component. Now, it can be after loss or doubt, or that you are quite driven and it directly impacts you to the point where you've got to have a balance. Now, with Saturn being strict, it can be that you're actually having an aha epiphany moment this month and saying, okay, now it's all for guts and glory, but is it to the detriment of my health? So it's sort of like trying to show you where to keep the balance and the energy. And I do feel monetary wise, whatever's coming in will be going out. But if you can keep your energy and your, your chakra aligned correctly, it's going to continually co-create that creative energy to draw in the cash component. In the area of health, okay, the aspects of responsibility are taking a toll on your health, and it's interesting. There's only one card for that. I will pull another one. So emotionally speaking, connected to all the responsibilities that are on your shoulders, it is causing a bit of discord in your health sector. Try and keep yourself as grounded as possible. This can be in this chakra area for you to actually have a look at if you're having any ailments, to actually go and get them checked out by the doctor. And again, I'm not a physician, so intuitively, if you're sensing something is not right, you should always check with your GP first. Pull another card. Okay, it can be where you're looking at a situation and you're thinking that you need the balance there. Like not having a phone on when you're recording or reading. It'll be my daughter. Okay, so connected to your health, even though you're trying to be responsible, it can be due to external situations. Now, it's what you're going to need to do is be, connected to your relationships, your work colleagues. You need to create a healthy boundary. And I think by having those boundaries, you'll end the way in which things have been going. Because if there's no balance, all that energy that you're placing into your work to manifest this cash component in might create jealousy and conflict. So be careful with that energy, especially if you're running a family business. In the area of a 3D job, there can be gossip related to this, and that can be because you're quite driven and you're very passionate about what you're doing. And you can be worried about your position, so you can be actually overcompensating, and it's causing a strange dynamic. Now, if the job goes, it's meant to go. And I know that causes a tower moment. That's if that's relevant for you. But it can be that you're mindful of that, and that's the energy you're coming in with. But try and get grounded, because you might be taking your responsibility way too responsibly. So if you can get grounded, you won't take it so seriously, and then you won't manifest that energy in. Spiritually speaking, again, you're focused on prosperity. So it's like all or nothing. I do feel it's a bit like a racehorse, You're in this race and you're like, all or nothing, I'm going to go for this, but don't miss the ride, okay? Be responsible towards yourself. Yes, be self-disciplined, but don't let that chakra become overactive, because it's an empowerment, it's a fulfillment, you're driven, but be careful that it's not to the detriment of other areas in your life. Now, spiritually speaking, it can be you're working towards a goal. This can be for a child, for a wedding. You have a goal in mind, and spiritually you're feeling that you're going to reach that. And that can be even on a healing level. You're wanting to reach that pinnacle where you feel you are at that balanced energy. And that's really what you're striving for. Even if you're struggling through it, it's still what you're going to attain. It does take time. Relationship-wise, you are concerned that, you're going to be alone. Now, that may be if you're in a relationship. It can be with all these trigger points and these emotions coming through us. We can be actually looking back and thinking, I want to create a stable foundation. I want to have a legacy for my family. But still be to the point where, yes, you look at that. And I do feel doctor's appointments for some of you. So, again, do keep quite grounded. But I think it's like you feel you're running out of time. So be mindful of that. Mindful in a sense to not manifest that energy, and try and keep as grounded as possible. I almost feel for some of you that went through a breakup, you're trying to get to a place where you where you want to be the winner. You want to be the go-getter. This can be even getting to the point where you're gaining your finances back after a separation. For others of you, you're very driven, and regardless of how it impacts anything, for some reason you're very driven this month. you're very focused on that one situation. It can be due to another person not putting work into it. And it can even be as simple as somebody's not at work. They've been unwell, so suddenly you've got to pick pieces up, but your energy is very heavy in the work front for some reason. You're wanting to gain the clarity in that area, and the energy is seeping into your relationship. For those of you who are in a relationship, both of you are having to use your intuition, and the person who is dealing with you, they're very proud of you. They're proud of the way that you're using your energy. They can be very intuitive as well. And the funny thing is that it may have been something that you were trying to move towards from August, because you've got success and growth, okay? And again, business. Now this person, it may be you're moving towards that to help them out somehow. They might have been unwell, so you're physically doing some legwork and you're working really hard. Or to the point where you are caring for someone and in love with someone that is unwell at the moment, and that is caring and understanding, and you're now bringing your life to this next level if you're single, where after the years you're picking pieces up and trying to get yourself back on stable ground, because they might be unwell at the moment and trying to get back on their feet. And again, it can be ascension symptoms, or it could be a very separate area. You'd need to look at their actual zodiac sign. Now, what is blocking you? What's blocking you can be healing from a past tense situation, from a person who was actually a partner and they're no longer a partner. This could be from your mindset of relationships. It doesn't have to be from a person you were physically in a relationship with, but it can be. What you're not seeing is, it's almost like you're meditating on a person that wasn't putting enough work into a situation. That can be in a job, in a relationship, or within a family. Also where you lost faith in the situation and how it directly impacted you spiritually through your life. I'll pull 3 more cards. Now, if you are wanting a booking, you can go to the website. The link is directly below, and we can tune into the energy further. And there are mid-month videos just covering love, which is a bit longer. Okay. In some shape or form, be it coupled or singled, you're feeling this connection is unstable. And that can just be the energy of you at the moment, where you're wanting to get your life back on track. So you're feeling a bit edgy, but you're trying to take responsibility. It may have been after, like I said, a separation or a third-party situation, or it can be that you're co-parenting and you've got maintenance money going out, or situations like that, and it's impacting you. This person or another person, I'm feeling 2 energies come through now. There can be, okay, one energy that is coming through is you are in a current relationship, but for some of you, there is another person that you have feelings for. This can be from the past, and at the moment you're feeling unsupported in your current 3D situation. For others of you, it feels that the person you're dealing with has been under the weather, not being able to put 100% in, and you have been picking up the pieces where at this point in time they're unable to. This can be after hurt on your side or their side, but there's pieces being picked up. The energy is changing, but at the moment it could be a bit problematic from a Tower moment. I'll leave it at that, and I will see you mid-month.